Let's talk a little bit about this. Our big story yesterday was about how over the weekend this video went viral. And as you know, the young man and others behind him in those mega caps are from Covington High School in Kentucky. And the initial story was that those kids got in the face of that Native American. His name is Nathan Phillips, the man in the cap, Nick Sandmann. What we know now is apparently those young men were being taunted by a group called the Black Hebrew Israelites. They were hurling insults at them. And then when you see all the video, you realize that the kids were simply shouting school chants at the suggestion of one of the kids and with the okay of the chaperone. And then the man with the drum walked in and actually got up in the young man's face.
So the media jumped to conclusions about what these men were doing, what these young kids were doing, what they represented, and it's put everything on its head. The facts have come out and been apologies have come cascading in, but it hasn't stopped the threats from coming at these high school kids who were there just for a supervised demonstration. Nick
Sandmann, the guy you see there, he said he was just standing his ground. He was trying to defuse the situation. There's now a video that has gone viral of two of his friends from the high school, Grant and Sam, and this is what they had to say about this incident.
There have been many threats against our lives, against our parents. Some of these threats include that we should all be locked in the school and it should be burnt to the ground, the school being bombed, school shooting threats. It's really scary. A lot of the negativity and the hate surrounding this event comes from people on social media doxing people that were at the event. I myself wasn't even present, and I have been doxed on 3 separate occasions. This has led to a tsunami of hateful messages and threats and everything above. There are real consequences for these actions. Nobody did their research, and it's now showing.
Keep in mind, hundreds, I was reading this on Newsbusters, hundreds of adults on Twitter called for the deaths of these children who were wearing the MAGA hats and smiling in public. Obviously, a lot of people, they saw that video, they heard, oh, the kid got in the face of the Native American who was beating the drum at Indigenous Peoples Day rally, and that was terrible. As it turns out, that was not the story. And Brian, like you said, a number of people have taken down their tweets, but others have not. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But the president got in on it last night.
Yeah, this is what he said. He said, looking like Nick Sandmann and Covington Catholic students were treated unfairly with early judgments proving out to be false, smeared by media, not good, but making big comeback. New footage shows the media was wrong about teens' encounter with Native American.
Twitter won't delete threats against the students as of right now, although they are looking into taking some down that initiated a lot of this uproar, which was inaccurate. Meanwhile, Rush Limbaugh weighed in and says, despite the apologies, isn't it amazing where the mistakes always seem to go the same way?
This caused widespread condemnation of the kids. And then a whole lot of media people piled on. And then the cesspool of Twitter got involved, calling for them to be doxxed. Then they demanded that they be shamed and punished. School administrators at the kids' school said they would consider kicking them out of school. It's always targeted at Republicans and conservatives. And the people, the adults who are supposed to be protective, pile on without even taking a moment to figure out what actually happened. They're the ones who deserve the accolades in this whole encounter.
Well, one of the tweets that was really just caught my attention, and I cannot believe people tweet this kind of thing out, was the guy who worked on Disney's Beauty and the Beast and Twilight, Jack Morrissey. He's a Hollywood producer, and he tweeted out Covington kids should be thrown screaming into a wood chipper, hats first, and then he included an image of a wood chipper, and I'll just leave it at that with some other things going on there. And he said, it was stupid, I shouldn't have done it, but he said, I really didn't give it any thought. Who writes that and doesn't give it any thought?
Well, CNN's Bakari Sellers has now deleted their tweet that said that somebody should punch Sandmann and the classmates in the face. And then there's a guy who was a contributor to Vulture, one of the online services, and a supervisor at INE Media. His name is Eric Abris, and he said, I don't know what it says about me, but I've truly lost the ability to articulate the hysterical rage, nauseousness, and heartache this makes me feel. I just want these people to die. Simple as that. Every single one of them and their parents. He has been fired by his company. They say, we apologize. In the meantime, I saw that apparently some of the students are considering legal action. An attorney by the name of Robert Barnes tweeted out to one CNN contributor who did take down a tweet, said, good apology, more needed, don't want to get sued, retract, correct, do it now.
All right, Jill Hamlin, a chaperone mom who was there at with her son, will be live with us at 7:20. Stay tuned. Meanwhile,
can I say one thing?
Yep.
Patricia Heaton and Jamie Lee Curtis, they've taken a side on this, and they're saying that they never should have. Well, Jamie Lee Curtis said she never should have commented on it. She wasn't there. There are two sides to every story. She's learned her lesson. And then Patricia Heaton said apologies are welcome, but the damage is done. She brought up a good point. She said when these kids try to apply to colleges or when they try to look for jobs, you're going to Google their names, and this is going to pop up.
Yeah, it's like the Duke lacrosse kids. Meanwhile, day 32.